ساتوی پسرو وینو داد شهیدانو کور داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور ساتوی پسرو وینو داد شهیدانو کور داد
Welcome and thank you for watching English News Bulletin on RTA News with me, Suleiman Talash. Let's dive into today's news updates. Public Health Minister Maulavi Nur Jalal Jalali met with the Kazakh ambassador to Afghanistan, Gaziz Akbasov, to discuss continued cooperation in the health sector. The Ministry of Public Health said the ambassador pledged support in training Afghan health workers and announced the dispatch of a technical team to provide medical services to those affected by the recent earthquake in Afghanistan. On the other hand, Minister of Industry and Commerce Nuruddin Azizi held a meeting with provincial industry and commerce heads to discuss providing greater support to the private sector. The Ministry of Industry and Commerce said the discussions focused on unlicensed companies, revenue collection centers, facilitating private sector activities, and other related issues. During the meeting, Mr. Azizi emphasized the importance of lawful private sector operations and instructed provincial heads to pay better attention when issuing business licenses. Higher Education Minister Sheikh Nidam Muhammad Nadim, during an official visit, inaugurated the launch of several projects worth around 44 million Afghanis at Badghis University. The projects include the construction of a ring road inside the university, a mosque, a boundary wall, the main gate, a dormitory, and external access roads to the university. On the other hand, Education Minister Maulavi Habibullah, during his visit to Khost province, inspected several religious schools and Emirate schools. According to the Ministry of Education, the purpose of his trip was to assess the quality of educational institutions, review students' conditions, and improve the learning environment. During meetings with school and madrasa officials, the minister emphasized enhancing the quality of lessons, ensuring classes begin on time, and promoting the use of modern teaching methods. Since last night, the Torkham crossing has been closed by Pakistan for all pedestrians movement until further notice. Officials say only cargo with trucks with prior visa clearance are allowed to pass. They add that Afghan migrants attempting to cross Torkham are being denied entry, with Pakistani authorities citing system failures as the reason. The Ministry of Finance says mobile inspection teams from the General Directorate of Customs have seized large quantities of smuggled goods over the past 2 weeks in Herat, Kandahar, Nimroz, Farah, and Helmand provinces. According to the ministry, the confiscated items include chocolate, medicine, salt, cheese, shampoo, powdered milk, eggs, clothing, dates, soap, and several other products. Nearly 400,000 Afghans returned to the country last month, expressing gratitude for the assistance provided but citing a lack of shelter as a major challenge. The Ministry of Housing and Urban Development reassures that land allocation for returnees in selected towns will begin soon. Here is the rest of the story.
Officials from the Ministry of Refugees and Repatriations report that nearly 400,000 Afghans returned to the country last month, with many returning both voluntarily and forcibly.
Out of the total number, 38,826 families have returned from Pakistan, 70,898 families from Iran, and 22 families from Turkey. Additionally, 94,171 single individuals have returned from other countries, bringing the total number of returnees to 393,776.
Afghans returning from Pakistan after years in exile say that enhanced security, national unity, a unified government prompted their decision to return. While they acknowledge the support from the Islamic Emirate, they are now calling for permanent shelter to ensure their long-term stability.
We have no place here, absolutely nowhere to go. We ask for kindness and mercy, that we be provided a shelter and some employment. I left when I was a 7 or 8-year-old child, and now I have returned at the age of 42. It is necessary for something to be done. Give us land, help us rebuild homes permanently. I have no one here, no house, no shelter, nothing.
90% of the returnees here have no homes or land. Those who have returned are either staying with relatives or living in the open fields. Our request to the Islamic Emirate is to provide the opportunity for home construction.
On the other hand, officials from the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development say that around 60 townships across 30 provinces will soon be allocated to Afghan returnees following the completion of several key processes.
In the near future, in around 30 provinces, approximately 60 townships will be built for returning refugees. The designs for these housing projects have been completed. Detailed plans are prepared. Land demarcation has been done. And in the 3 provinces, work on public infrastructure has already begun.
Before this, the Ministry of Refugees and Repatriations called on national and international organizations and governments to support the construction of dedicated townships for returnees.
On the other hand, 100 young personnel of the Ministry of National Defense graduated from professional training in artillery maintenance and route clearance at the Abdullah bin Masoud Joint Combat Training Command. The Ministry of National Defense said the graduates pledged to bravely defend the country's independence, territorial integrity and Islamic values. Officials from the Ministry of Propagation of Virtue, Prevention of Vice and Hearing Complaints say that they resolved 116 women-related cases in the previous month. During the same period, 30 suckers were arrested, 108 disputes were settled, and nearly 2,000 reform sessions were held nationwide. Take a look at a detailed story.
Officials of the Ministry of Propagation of Virtue, Prevention of Vice and Hearing of Complaints say that in the last month, the ministry resolved 116 women-related cases. These included disputes over inheritance, dowry, forced marriage, and giving girls in marriage.
The Ministry of Propagation of Virtue, Prevention of Vice and Hearing Complaints resolved 141 cases related to women's rights across the country during the month of Sambala 1404. These included 21 inheritance cases, 22 dowries, 43 violence cases, 22 forced marriages, 16 alimony cases, 9 divorces and 5 other cases related to women's rights.
During the same period, 30 sorcerers were arrested, 108 enmities were turned into friendships, and nearly 2,000 reform meetings were held nationwide through the efforts of the ministry's officials.
During this period, inspectors also arrested 30 sorcerers and handed them over to relevant authorities for Sharia-based decisions. In efforts to promote unity and ensure social justice, 108 tribal and family enmities were also resolved.
Citizens say that over the past 4 years, the establishment and work of the ministry have brought significant reforms to society.
Compared to the past 4 years, many reforms have been brought through sermons from the pulpit. Since our society is religious, the advice and preaching for the Ministry of Propagation of Virtue, Prevention of Vice and Hearing Complaints had a strong impact on people. The ministry has advised many people, and this work is ongoing. It has brought significant changes in society.
Previously, the Ministry of Justice published the policy of the Ministry of Propagation of Virtue, Prevention of Vice and Hearing of Complaints law enforcement teams in the official's gazette. The move approved by the leader of the Islamic Emirate aims to inform all segments of society and provide a foundation for the effective implementation of the law on encouraging righteousness and preventing evil deeds.
The construction of 100 greenhouses worth more than 12 million Afghans has commenced in Kandahar province. The Ministry of Agriculture, Irrigation and Livestock states that the project is being implemented with financial support from the United Nations Development Programme. And the final one reached that the construction of 2 water supply networks worth over 14 million Afghans in Rostock and Ishkamish district of Takhar province has been completed and put into operation with financial support from UNICEF and AHF organization. The Directorate of Rural Rehabilitation and Development in Takhar says the completed networks provide safe drinking water for 400 of local families. That's all for now. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
ساتوی پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور ساتوی پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا